Welcome back to the desert, everyone. Thanks again so much for joining me. We're very lucky this week. I had a crash of one of my hard drives and temporarily lost all the footage, but I was able to recover it. So here we go. Anyhow, this week I want to work on the ventral lighting that showed up in episode 5. Episode 4 had no lights on the Millennium Falcon on the outside. So I made a little template here that has the correct degrees off the center post, or where each light should be, both the red marker, the red marker lights and the white landing lights. So I'm just trying to get this very centered on here. Because I'm standing at the desk and not leaning over the model, I also looked at it from this side. Staring at it, I realized that, it's not quite straight. So we're just making it as straight as I can possibly get it. When I was ready to start marking, the first thing I did, of course, was put the hole over the screw, and I was like, this will work perfectly. And then I was surprised actually how long it took me to realize, of course, that was not going to work, because that is not a straight line between the center post and the angle marking. So I marked each landing light and each marker light, and then I also notated the distance on my chart over there, so I could have the same distance both starboard and port side. I figure if they're a millimeter, off, but as long as they're equal on both sides, you won't notice it. So that was my goal. Here's some 3D printed, there's sconce lighting for the inside, and also the cages for the red outside marker lights. The red marks there on the frame are where the the light location goes through the frame. I could have moved them, by a millimeter here or there to have them not go through the frame, but I decided, nope, I wanted to have it accurate, or at least as accurate as I could make it from the drawing, reflected on the outside of the Millennium Falcon, not taking the frame into account. Here I am modifying the part that goes in between the mandibles. In episode 5, you can see there they have basically, it looks like 2 more headlights in between the mandibles there. So I want to make space for light there. Filing the little bump off and filling the holes in the back so I can add the lights later. I was making the markings for the panels on the panels were on the frame, but now that I need to also modify the frame and finish modifying the panels, I decided it would be safer to take them off, because I didn't want to be grinding on the metal frame and then have the drill slip or the grinder slip and then go straight through the plastic and make an enormous hole. Although, of course, it can be fixed, I just didn't feel like doing that. So easier to take them off again. I am nervous, though, taking them on and off and on and off and on and off so many times with the screw going into plastic to hold them on. I hope the holes don't get worn out. I have broken off some of the tabs. Luckily, it should still fit just fine. But yeah, if you are doing this, be careful. They do break and they do wear out. Got to make sure which panel goes where, so I know which hole is what size, because the marker lights are smaller holes, because all they have to do is hold the cages, whereas the landing lights are going to be 5 millimeter LEDs, and I want, again, just to bump the lens to stick out just a tiny bit, so I want the hole to be was it 3/16, I think, a little under 3/16, 4.8 millimeters is what I'm going to make it, so that I can have that effect that I'm looking for. Here I am modifying the frame to accept the LEDs, checking to make sure that I have the correct holes in the correct places per the diagram, and then matching side to side as well, with the one exception, the one where the cockpit tube comes out. There's a slight difference in the location of the landing light there. But I'm pretty happy. Everything matches. So for the LEDs, just white LEDs. I wanted to have like a little sleeve around it so I can have, again, the effect that I'm looking for of them kind of slightly poking through the hole. I was going to use part of a flexible straw to slide around it, which fits nicely. But then I thought, wait a minute, I need light blocking anyway, so why not just use some heat shrink tubing? And I had some that fits just very tightly around it, so I can stretch it around it and it should fit just fine. Here you can see one. The front side, of course, is fine. The light blocking around it, and then around the back where the leads come out, I'm going to cover that with liquid electrical tape anyway. So I'm not worried about the light coming out of that at this point. Now that I've committed to using LEDs in the front as well, I need to make sure that I do have enough space for the front forward hold. It is going to be very tight. If I do need some extra space, I figured too that if I do have to make a hole in the floor of the forward hold to accept the LED, for the LED to fit, I can just cover it up with a crate or a barrel or something anyway. So, because I'm planning on having some things in the forward holds anyway, so I don't think that's going to be much of a problem. But I just wanted to make sure. I think it'll fit. I think it's going to be very tight, but yeah, if it doesn't fit, I can always adjust it. So I want to wire the LEDs up in parallel so that I have the same voltage going to each one and all of them have equal brightness. So I'm going and I'm laying out the wires both for the red marker lights and for the white landing lights right now. I made a template for the lights. It's about 2 inches apart in the back, and then there's a couple in the front that are 3.5 inches apart. I figured it'd be easier to have a template rather than trying to work over the frame. So I drilled some holes in them so they would accept the LEDs, and I can have the LEDs hold in there while I soldered the parts, because it's 10 LEDs per strand, and then each LED, of course, has 2 leads, so 20. That's a lot. A lot of soldering. Also, for the ones left and right of the airlocks, we have larger landing lights there, and I've made landing lights with 4 LEDs that I'm going to attach to those. So for the landing lights left and right of the door, I added an extra lead into this wiring harness as well, so I can wire in those 4 LED boards that I made previously. I'm going to use the original landing lights that come with the kit as the landing lights in the rear, between the rear landing gears, and then the front landing lights that go in the front mandibles. I'm going to go ahead and use the ones from the kit because those are fine. I'm adding, again, as I said before, 2 lights in between the mandibles, and there's also 2 white lights below the mandibles, as you can see in the Empire Strikes Back film. So it's going to have a lot of lights. Working on the second set now. Everything works nicely. So I just temporarily installed them with just a little bit of super glue, so we can see what it looks like. And I'm pretty happy. They look really good. Again, right now they're not in place correctly, but I can move them slightly left to right. So when I do install them permanently, I will make sure that each LED points directly or points to a spot on the ground, not coinciding with another one. But I'm pretty happy. They look pretty good. It's going to be good.